Okay, hello everybody. I'm pleased to be joined here by England's hopefully future number one player, Shreyas Royal. Played a great game today, great win. How you doing today, Shreyas?
I feel good. It's some sort of consolation for yesterday.
Yeah,
But I think overall I'm playing reasonably well. Just yesterday was a bit poor, but there's still 3 games left. So
because I made the point actually, I didn't think you played that badly in that game. Michael Adams seemed to play very well once you made a mistake. So it wasn't like it was like a really bad loss. But let's have a look at your game today against Marcus Harvey. What preparation did you do for Marcus? And have you played him before?
yeah, I have played Marcus before a few times. I think we've had relatively balanced results because he played me when I was a bit younger, and okay, he beat me like in some rapid event, but okay,
Right.
like 9 years old.
Yeah.
But one thing I've noticed about him is that he's very confident as a player, and he tends to overestimate his position. Like, for example, I'll tell you, I played him in 2022 in some English championship, and the position was like roughly equal. He was higher rated than me. He had the black pieces, but I thought it was just going to end in a draw. Instead, he went for like a piece sacrifice, and yeah, supposedly the engine thinks I'm +5, but actually, both of us were repeating moves, and in the end, I had to claim the draw. I didn't realize I was +5, but the thing was, he was the one who wanted to play on.
Yeah. Because sometimes when people play on, they give you the confidence that, you know, and you start defending and you think like, I'm always having to defend. You never think about trying to win, right?
Yeah.
A lot of his psychology. But yeah, I agree with you. I think Marcus is a very self-confident player. So you went for the fantasy variation.
Yeah, I didn't really prepare too much for the game. I just wanted to get something exciting because I think, like, okay, he may be confident, but I'm even more confident in my calculation abilities. So if I can get a complicated position, okay, even if he's bluffing, I feel confident enough to
So
find the best move.
I've noticed when I've had post-mortems with you, your calculation is very good.
Yeah.
Speaking of calculation, another guy who's good at calculations, Arjun Eragaisi, and I've noticed he played a fantasy variation as well. By the way, we were asking this question. Do you know what the fantasy variation is named after? Because nobody seems to know what the fantasy variation is named after.
No, I don't think I'd know either.
No. Okay, let's quickly move on. Queen b6 is quite an interesting move.
Yeah, knight c3, e6, a3, bishop e7, I didn't really know. I thought he was, because Marcus also plays the French, and he likes playing some Steinitz structures. So I thought he was going to go knight f6 instead of bishop e7.
Right.
The one move back.
Okay, go back.
Yeah, like knight f6,
Oh, yeah.
and e5, knight d7, f4, c5.
It's like a French, right?
It's like a French, but I don't have to transpose back. Knight f3,
Knight
knight
f3,
c6. And
C6.
I can go bishop e3, but I have the extra option of, I believe, taking and going knight a4.
Yeah, because
Or knight
normally
a4
in the
first,
French, your pawn would be on a2, right?
But I think my bishop would already be on e3 as well. So
Right.
whereas here it's a bit different.
So you could check and then take the knight, but
Yeah, I can't remember.
It's
It's either knight a4 first or taking, but okay, it leads to some position where it's interesting at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, bishop e7, I didn't really know. Like,
Oh, sorry. Go back.
yeah, if we go back.
Yeah. So he went bishop e7. That would have been on move 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe he was just trying to avoid theory preparation.
Yeah, he played it quite quickly, so maybe he knew something about it.
The bishop e2 was quite a good move, actually. I think that was a top engine move. So were you still in your preparation?
No, I just after knight d7, I definitely wasn't in my preparation, but I assumed that his idea was to go knight f6, and generally to meet knight f6, I want to go e5. However, here if I go bishop e2, he cannot really take because I win a piece. So this was my reasoning behind bishop e2, and
Right.
it's just useful developing move.
Yeah. So you have this idea, go knight h3, knight f2, and just.
Well, I wasn't quite sure, but okay, I mean, he has to do something, and knight f6 is what he would like to do.
Yeah. So what was his reasoning behind a6? Because Nick was saying that he didn't really quite understand what the purpose of what the point was
Well,
behind
nor did
a6.
I actually. But
No.
the thing was, he played it very confidently, and I spent too much time on some moves here. For example, I should have blitzed out knight h3. I thought there should be some reason. Maybe it was even some sort of preparation. And like after knight h3, he wanted to Knight gf6, I think this was his idea.
Right, right.
I don't know if it's the best move, but either this or d takes e4 and e5. And after knight gf6, yeah, I hadn't quite decided, but e5 should be interesting. I mean, knight j looks a bit ridiculous, but it's not so stupid because I can't really go f4, knight f3. So
Yeah, your knight's not ideally placed here now for this structure.
yeah, but I could stop like some c5 ideas with b4. I don't know, but I hadn't quite decided. I just wanted to see what he would do, and I thought knight h3 seemed quite logical. So
Sure.
I'd seen d takes e4, f takes e4, e5, but I didn't quite believe it because I thought, okay, I have more developed pieces. This should work.
Yeah. I mean, he's opened up the game where he's underdeveloped on the king's side. So,
Yeah. I spent far too long for queen d2. Like, I don't know how long I spent, but I spent because actually when I'd seen this line when I went knight h3, but after queen d2 I started calculating, and queen takes b2 wasn't terribly clear to me. But after a while I realized like castle, queen b6, bishop c4, knight gf6, and like bishop takes f7 seemed quite interesting to me. I don't know how good it is, but like knight g5 check and some king e8.
So, yes.
Yeah, and it's like knight e6 as well. So
96, yeah.
I thought, okay, let's play queen e2 and see what he does. And to my horror, he just blitzed up queen c7, probably not having calculated any of those lines. So
Right, okay.
this is why I felt a bit stupid for spending so long on queen d2.
Yeah, so he basically played quickly, is what you're saying here.
Yeah, I mean, he probably seen queen d2, and I don't know if he calculated anything after queen takes b2.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just blitzed up queen c7.
Practically, it looks dangerous to take a pawn.
It does look dangerous, but I don't know, like, it seemed like the sort of thing he would do. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but
Yeah.
it just seemed like the sort of thing. But in any case, I think I should have blitzed out queen e2 because it feels like the principled move. And if he were to take, then I should calculate, and I would have saved much more time.
So what I'm getting from this is you're putting a big premium on time management.
Yeah.
Because one thing I noticed with some of the players in the tournament, I noticed even when you lost, you still went through the process of, you weren't rushing. But I've noticed with some of the players in the tournament, maybe some of the less experienced players, is they're kind of rushing. When they get bad positions, it kind of tilts them a little bit, and they're kind of rushing, and their time management starts getting worse and worse. So that's a good sign.
Well, I mean, I'm no saint in this aspect as well,
Yeah.
because I have played a lot of, like, at times I make some impetuous decisions.
Sure.
Was that a draw?
Wow.
I think they agreed to draw. Wow.
Well, apparently White was completely winning.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
kind of shocking.
Okay.
Anyway, let's go back to your game.
D5 is good, I think. C5.
Yeah, we had Malcolm Payne on earlier, and he suggested C5 was a bit of an error because he's just leaving this huge supported pass pawn.
But I think black is already a bit worse. I think C5 made more sense practically.
Did you have threats of maybe casting and go D6?
Yeah, exactly. So I think it made some sense practically, and I wasn't quite sure which setup to opt for here. But I had like some idea after like knight gf6 to go rook d1 and maybe some knight e6. So I guess this is why he went knight ef6.
Yeah.
And I was a bit stuck here, but queen e1 didn't seem so bad. So
Queen e1 was a good move. I think all your moves are like the top moves.
okay, played better than I thought.
But here was a big mistake like that.
Yeah, knight e7. It was shocking how quickly he played knight e7.
That's what I was saying about the time management. I think when people are worse,
Yeah.
often your time management gets worse. And the stronger the player, the more they stay in the process, right?
Yeah.
No disrespect to Marcus, but I think he lacks experience in some respects.
I don't know if it's experience. I think it's just the confidence once again. And
Overconfidence, you think?
well, I think someone said this. I believe it was Magnus. In chess, it's better to be confident or even delusional than
Yeah.
to not have any confidence at all.
Yeah.
So I think this has worked well for Marcus in many instances, but it's all about balancing. And here, knight e7 was played okay.
Way too quickly.
He just didn't sense any danger.
Yeah. I think maybe bishop d7.
Or even b5 and just like.
What's the engine saying here? Yeah.
Is b5, is it blundering something?
Not really.
No, it's just a bit.
It's just very unpleasant anyway. The position's very bad anyway, but obviously Yeah, it's funny actually. Malcolm Payne spotted this idea of knight f7 immediately, which is shocking,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So Malcolm's obviously a very talented player. I didn't see it at all, and a very nice tactic you came out with.
Yeah.
And obviously at this point the game is more or less over because
Yeah.
your pieces are just flooding in, and you can't defend with a knight. You can't move knight to a useful square.
I mean, it was bound to happen because he wasn't. Because if you check all of his moves, he wasn't following any principles. He was just, faffing around with
Yeah.
moves like a6 and knight df6. Just making very slow moves. So
Yeah,
this was bound to happen at some point if he didn't stop.
sure.
And
But it's still very nice the way you won the game. I mean, it's very impressive. And now F6 is coming, and
yeah,
actually resigned at this point. Oh, no, sorry, he didn't resign.
No, he didn't resign.
Yeah.
tried one last trick with bishop f5. It's not even a trick. I think rook f5 must be winning.
Oh, he wants to go rook g8.
Yeah. No, maybe it's not winning, but it's still quite good. Has to be.
So his idea is that just
Just to
for
me,
the
yeah.
viewers, queen g2 would be checkmate. So you can't be the bishop, but there are other promising moves maybe for white here, like rook e5 maybe might be good, but d6.
Yeah, okay. But in any case, it's quite unnecessary.
But it's unnecessary because you
Yeah.
took with a bishop,
And yeah.
and now he decided he'd had enough. I mean, that was really an impressive win. And so, Shreyas, just to before you go, thanks, for coming on the stream, because probably not, people at home don't necessarily know your chess that well, but obviously
Yeah.
over the next few years, they're going to come to get to know you.
Hopefully.
Who do you think you might play tomorrow? Because you've already played Michael Adams, you've already played against Vitigov, sorry, I keep getting the pronunciation.
I don't think it matters. Just
It doesn't really matter.
people get my name wrong all the time. So
Yeah, who do you think you might play tomorrow? Because I think a lot of people are afraid of playing against Michael Adams because they're halving out to avoid playing
yeah,
Michael Adams.
Michael is Mickey's a real pain. I think
Yeah.
I've lost the last 3 games I played against him, and I was completely screwed in another game which I managed to swindle. So somehow
That was at the British last year, right?
yeah, where I got my GM title. Yeah, but
Yeah,
but yeah, I think Mickey is like the most frightening because if he's
right.
at the top, then he's a problem because sometimes he may halve out and sit slightly lower, but yeah, this time he's only drawn 2 games, so he's
But I was saying earlier that I think if you get into the playoff, or bless you, if you get into the playoff, or if you finish the tournament well, you might well win the tournament because I think people like Michael and Nikita and Gawain are a little bit older, so you might have a little bit more energy at the end. Is that possibly a fair assessment? Or am I jumping ahead as I often do?
I think. I mean, I'd be happy to make it to the playoffs, but
Yeah,
I wouldn't underestimate the abilities because they have a lot of experience.
sure.
And Mickey's, I think he's a surprisingly underrated blitz player as well. So
Yeah, he very rarely makes any mistakes, right?
Yeah.
Even in blitz, like he's very solid, right?
the main thing is to get him out of his comfort zone, and then I think mistakes can happen. And yesterday, actually, it felt like I was at some point. It felt like he was not playing in the most precise way, and I think he went for g3 at some point in bishop e6, and the engine says all of this is fine, but frankly, I don't think he'd spotted all of the lines, and just he just so happened to run into it because
It's more instinctive. Yeah.
No, I think he didn't really have a choice. So.
Right, yeah.
But I think before I had a really miserable position, and he had many different ways to win the
Yeah.
game. But he chose this, and he had to be precise. And I don't know if he saw the lines because, frankly, I didn't see all the lines. I thought I had a fair shot after some point.
Because when you played knight f3, we thought you played that maybe a little bit quickly. I think there was another option at that point.
Yeah, I saw knight. I think knight e6 was the other option, and knight takes d5, queen f7, f4. I saw that, and I thought Mickey would see it. And frankly, I think after knight f3 check, the main thing I missed was
King f1, right? He played.
no, maybe not even king f1, just king f1, bishop c3. There's bishop d5 check.
Right.
Because without bishop d5 check, because if I take on e1, there's queen e6, queen f7 mate, and I don't really have anything else. So
Sure.
this is the main thing I missed. Because with bishop c3, I could even be better.
Right.
But that's the thing.
If
Like
he hasn't got this, other.
that's the thing. Like he had to spot all of these resources to be winning, and if he did not have like any one of those resources, then he could. I mean, the position would likely be equal or something. So
Yeah, yeah.
so it didn't feel like super convincing, but I just played so badly in the opening.
But his bishop e2, I guess that must have surprised you, right?
Yeah,
Because
it did
I've never
surprise
seen
me.
that line before.
I think
must admit.
the main problem was that I spent too much time yesterday. I was probably doubting myself too much, and at some point I had to make like some hurried decisions.
Right.
And okay, but that's the thing. Like when I sped up, like I thought I was playing reasonably well,
Yeah.
and I almost swindled him. But
Yeah.
okay.
But one thing I noticed actually with Michael Adams, obviously he's a great player, but when people like Louis Shane and David Howe and Gawain Jones were younger, they had a terrible record against him, but
Yeah,
they started to equalise it a little bit. So maybe that might happen for you in the future, even though you've not got a great record against him at the moment.
At the moment, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Anyway, well, thanks so much for coming on. Hoping we can have you back later on in the tournament.
Yeah.
That's really instructive, and yeah,
okay.
I'll let you go. Thank you.
Thank you
Cheers.
for having me.